Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
The truth behind the scenes. Hanni of NewJeans reveals all about HYBE. And I hope this is going to actually be something new here, so let's see.
NewJeans Hanni allowed us an exclusive look at the truth about HYBE and what's happening behind these walls. From harassment in the workplace to the company allegedly covering up evidence, Hanni has revealed it all. The battle between NewJeans and HYBE has been going on for months, and many fans hope that it will soon come to an end. The situation could be over soon though, because Hanni recently spoke up about everything that happened, and HYBE's gotten themselves into huge trouble. We need to start at the beginning in September of 2024, when Hanni was chosen by the National Assembly Environment and Labor Committee to share her testimony in the state audit in October. The plan was to question Hanni about workplace harassment based on what she shared in the past and how she and her group were continuously and purposefully ignored by the higher-ups in their company. While her attendance was not mandatory, Hanni later confirmed that she would attend the audit and testify. Through the phoning app, Hanni shared her plans to represent the members and fans, stating that it felt right to do so. On October 15th, Hanni took to the Seoul court, which had been swamped by reporters and photographers. Hanni began her speech by saying, "This has happened more than once or twice, and if I continue to stay quiet, it will pass and be buried. This could happen to anyone." Last month, Hanni shared how she was purposefully ignored by a manager of a different group under HYBE. During the testimony, she explained the situation further. Hanni stated that when it happened, she was waiting in the hallway after getting her hair and makeup done when another group, along with their manager, entered the hallway. Hanni greeted them politely, but when the group returned back from the makeup room, the manager looked straight at Hanni and told the group, "Ignore her like you didn't see her." Hanni didn't understand why someone would say such a thing in the work environment. Hanni tried to discuss the issue in the past with the Door's new CEO, Joo Young Kim, who's also the chief HR officer of HYBE, but the CEO claimed that there was allegedly no evidence to prove the harassment as the CCTV footage was mysteriously deleted. During the audit, Hanni revealed that she kept audio records of her meetings with the Door management regarding the incident, going as far as to claim that these records could prove Ador's lies. Hanni shared that the management kept going back and forth on why the CCTV footage was no longer available, and since Hanni's not—
Guys, is Korea one consent country or two consent countries? Let us know. Basically, here in the States, some states are one consent party states, some are two. So in one consent state, if I record a conversation, nobody else has to agree to the recording, I can use it. If it's two consent, basically everybody has to agree to the recording for me to use, like agree to be recorded. So that matters. And I guess if this went to court, it would matter. In like our discussion, like maybe not so much, but if it did go to court, basically if it was two consent and she was recording it, it would be inadmissible. But anyway.
Fluent in Korean and she didn't want to miss anything they said, she decided to keep a record of everything. The CCTV footage getting accidentally deleted was reported around a week prior to the audit. NewJeans' parents couldn't helplessly watch the situation, so they took the matter into their own hands. They also exposed HYBE for intentionally deleting the clip, which could prove what Hanni was saying. According to the parents, the clip shows Hanni greeting the group, but it strangely ends right after that. One of the mothers questioned, how can they claim that the problematic incident just happened to be deleted when they left the footage of Hanni greeting the members from the other group untouched? They continued by addressing enough.
If the clip literally ends just like because initially they said that the recordings were deleted because they're old, which makes sense to me. But if there's part of recordings are available, only that part is deleted, then okay, that is weird.
Another issue. According to them, Kim Joo Young is incompetent at addressing NewJeans' complaints regarding the label. One of the mothers explained that she spoke about the video footage of NewJeans members during their trainee days that was leaked online. 2 days later, the mother received a response from Kim Joo Young stating that the fans already filed a criminal complaint against the media outlet and that they could consider waiting for the results. Kim Joo Young also suggested that the members had the option of filing a civil lawsuit against the media outlet for violating their right to publicity. All of the mothers agreed that doing so would cast a negative light on the group. On top of that, their chances of winning were very small since there was no legitimate evidence regarding the leak. Understandably, NewJeans' parents are concerned about Ador's new management and how it's going to affect the girls' careers. One of the parents shared how nothing has been resolved over the past months and how she's been in a state of near despair. She also expressed
the parents
her concern
don't even trust like the management team either.
Seems like it.
Future. Despite it all, the parents still hold hope that the lie won't last forever and that the truth will eventually come to light. According to Hanni, this incident wasn't just a one-time thing, but it developed into a pattern that made her and the other girls feel disrespected. Hanni shared that HYBE executives and higher-ups failed to acknowledge her in numerous instances, and according to her, these instances date all the way back to the group's debut. She added that she understands the cultural significance and how she should always greet and be polite to older people, but she believes it's disrespectful as a human for these people not to greet the members, regardless of their professional status. The disrespect then got to the point when Hanni felt it through the whole company and became suspicious that the company straight up hated them. Hanni said, "There's this air in the company which is really hard to describe, and so we couldn't really tell anyone. It's something you can only tell if you're in it." Her suspicion got even stronger.
There's a lot of hearsay in what she's saying, because what she's claiming, there's really no proof of it. As the HYBE's Adore's new CEO said, you can't really prove that, which is true. So it's just hearsay. But I am starting to believe them, because you brought a good point. There's not a single picture of the CEO in NewJeans, whereas he basically has a picture with every single group. He does not have a picture with NewJeans. That kind of changed things a little bit. It's a little weird. So.
Longer when she encountered several HYBE employees talking ill about the group on the app Blind, which is an app similar to Teams or Slack used for internal communication. Hanni also witnessed the director of HYBE's PR team trying to lower their Japanese debut score, and that's when she became convinced that the company really despised them. When Kim Joo-young was questioned by the assembly about the company's effort,
as an emergency doctor in California, I want to share with you what I've seen since we legalized weed.
To prevent workplace harassment, she had a very interesting thing to say. One would expect that the artists would be protected by the same regulations as their employees, but apparently that's not the case. According to her, artists are not defined as employees by the law, and HYBE has an internal guidance policy where they explain how everyone should respect each other, regardless of their position in the company. Allegedly, they are also holding regular training programs and put a lot of effort towards their corporate culture. In addition to that,
That is weird that HYBE claimed that they're not employees, which their defense is basically not that, we're treating them well, is like, workplace harassment doesn't apply to them because they're not employed. Yeah, it's not looking good for HYBE. That's all I can say.
Turns out that artists are not included in the list of people who can use HYBE's company hotline to report workplace harassment, and while Kim claims she took the best possible measures, seeing Hanni so emotional made her wonder if there was more than she could have done. In another instance, Hanni brought up Bang Shi-hye, revealing that the CEO never accepted her greetings and that she thought he was quite rude. Bang was already under fire due to his absence at the audit, despite the severe criticism his company is facing right now. Representative Park Hong-bai didn't hold back from calling out Bang Shi-hye for not attending such an important event. He fired Bang Shi-hye for enjoying himself in the States and shamed him for not being able to understand the serious.
Wait, what? That's not. What hearing? He didn't go to the audit.
Yeah, he was in the US. I guess maybe for vacation or work.
I mean, if he's not in the. I don't know if you can, like.
I mean, if he already had it scheduled, but this seems like pretty big. Maybe he should have some sort of presence or a representative on his behalf.
If he was, called for to speak and he didn't attend, then okay. But if
because Hanni was not required to come,
right? So, but if he was like not required, but he wanted to they wanted him to just be present, but he didn't have to be present, then I don't exactly see a problem with that.
Of the situation, despite finding himself in numerous public controversies. Furthermore, Park presented 2 pictures of Bang and
I guess from the PR perspective, it doesn't look good per se, but from business perspective, he had shit to do. And
his time in the States, one of them being the infamous photo of Bang with the streamer Juice Sion and her sister. While the public has collectively agreed that HYBE is one shady company, it has been alleged that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. Because Joo-young Kim is a representative of HYBE, she was also questioned about certain past incidents that happened in the company. One of the incidents was the 2022 case where a HYBE employee passed away, and it's alleged it happened because they were being overworked. In response, Joo-young Kim claimed that it was true that the employee passed out at work, but they ended up passing away due to an undisclosed illness. Joo-young Kim explained that the employee went to the break room after claiming they would rest for a bit and was found unresponsive and rushed to the hospital, where they sadly didn't make it. One of the officials pointed out that HYBE failed to report the passing as the law states regarding accidental workplace incidents, suspecting the company.
I mean, it could have been that he did have a personal illness, but it was exacerbated by by working too much. So, I don't know.
Of trying to conceal the worker's passing. However, CEO Kim Joo-young denied any attempts to cover the passing, claiming that no autopsy was carried out as requested by the employee's parents. The official fired back at the CEO, saying that this is exactly how concealment works when the culprit...
I don't know how it is in Korea, but here usually we don't perform autopsies on natural cause death. But then I guess it depends how old the person was. If the person was old, then I don't know. If it's for a young person, then it is kind of suspicious. So.
I think they do autopsy if there's a request by the family, if that's a wish, or if they feel that it's unusual situation.
Right. Yeah. But this, again, I don't know enough about the situation. It's just first time hearing it, but it's hard to say. Especially if the person did have an illness, like some sort of, then you know.
Works with the bereaved. Because of how serious this situation is, NewJeans fans and netizens are wondering how this is going to play out in the future and how it's going to affect the group's future. While nothing has been set in stone yet, it seems that it's not going to be anything good. HYBE recently updated their...
But I feel like, did we learn the truth behind the scenes? What Hanni revealed? I don't feel like we...
Well...
What did we learn here? We didn't learn anything new, did we?
No, we should just pretty much stated what we already learned.
Clickbait titles.
The only thing we learned is that the CEO wasn't there.
Right, yeah, that was.
She was there. Where the parents kind of stood.
We knew that a bit about the parents, though. In the previous video, she talked about the parents.
And they brought up like, okay, the conditions at working at HYBE, employee dying.
Okay, that's new. Yeah.
So it's really putting a bad light on HYBE. So it's kind of leaning more in favor of NewJeans.
But she didn't really say what Hanni revealed that's new, though, because let's see, maybe there'll be some in there.
Scheduled for the fourth quarter of 2024, and NewJeans' absence was noted by their fans. It was expected that NewJeans would release a new album in the latter half of the year, but it seems that none of that is going to happen anytime soon. Once people learned about this, though, they were rightfully enraged. Many of them accused the company of intentionally...
I don't know why people are enraged. I feel like it's pretty common sense. They're in a scandal. They're not focused on albums right now. That's just common sense.
But also, I think they're possibly going to be shelved.
Yeah, I wouldn't be well, I don't know though, because they're the biggest HYBE. I think, based on what I'm seeing, I think HYBE might succumb to their demands and whatever, because they are the biggest money makers for HYBE. So I don't know. Then again, two BTS's guys are out of military. They might start making something, generate some income. So who knows?
Putting the group's future in danger, with one of them writing, "They had a plan for a full album, but they've just shelved it in plain sight. Absolute hooligans." Another one expressed their worries about the girls and if they were handling the situation okay. Overall, the response towards Hanni's appearance has been majorly positive, and many fans and netizens admire her courage for standing against people who might have a lot more power than she does. One user on Twitter said,
"Yeah, especially in a country like South Korea, where I feel like it's a little conservative. That is a big deal."
These girls speaking about how hard her workplace is and harassment in the K-pop industry. This is revolutionary. Many people were endeared when Hanni promised that if she ever had to return back, she would study Korean more so that she could understand and express herself perfectly. On the other hand, international netizens had a lot more to say. On Reddit, many netizens said that the issue was becoming bigger than it should be, especially as a lot of it was focused on Hanni being ignored by the manager. They added that
I mean, that person does have a point, though. Being ignored once does not mean you need to speak in front of an assembly of politicians about it. That is kind of true, though.
But it's kind
of... that is true.
But the thing is, it seems like culturally speaking, when someone enters the room, leave the room, they acknowledge each other, they bow. There's a custom to that.
No, I get it, but if the person is being rude to you, deal with it. Like, why do you need to go in front of an assembly talk about it?
Because that person is directly responsible of your group's project. That's a problem.
No, it wasn't. It was a manager of another group. That person has no dealings with you. Because the issue was like, well, I'm not gonna name the group because they didn't name it, but a certain group's manager told them, "Oh, ignore them." Like that kind of is like like the kindergarten bullying. And she went like the kind.
But still, it's like these people are not like a competitor company. This is like in-house. So if one group is doing that, potentially other groups will start doing the same. So it's gonna affect the group either way. They are all under the same company.
No, I understand, but just think about the scenario. Somebody at your work now, you have a beef with somebody. They're rude to you. They're not your boss. They're working. You work in.
And they tell their members.
No.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah. Listen, you work in accounting, but somebody from a legal department ignores you, and they tells others from legal, "Yo, don't talk to that person." You're gonna go in front of the Congress talk about it?
If I see down the road, it's gonna affect accounting. Because accounting stuff end up going to legal.
But you don't go in front of Congress. You go in front of the HR.
So who's HR here?
Well, I guess she went to the CEO.
And the CEO said...
CEO approved it.
So she went here.
Yeah, but I'm no. But think about put your like the feelings aside, but you think about the situation. It's kind of silly. Like you wouldn't go in front of the Congress. You go in front of HR.
Well, she was not required to be there, but they were opening this investigation. So if this already an investigation already open, and you know she could help, she's gonna show up. That's what she should do,
Right.
especially if there's a problem.
But this person does have a valid point.
It's completely valid for Hanni to feel mistreated. There were idols who went through worse things but didn't gain this much attention because they were not as popular as NewJeans. Another user on Reddit called the whole situation a media stunt, pointing out how young Hanni is and how no one really seems to care about what she has to say. One netizen also wondered
what
why
she
Hanni
has to
didn't...
gain in doing. Look at it. What she has to gain in doing this? It's not like she's gonna be able to comfortably, you know, be able to move forward.
I think what they want to gain at this point is getting released from the label without having to pay the $250 million. Remember the amount?
With the name in it, I don't know, but no.
I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
bring up the more serious incident.
But at the same time, I just don't see NewJeans proceeding as part of HYBE either. I think I think it's either they're getting disbanded or they're gonna be just NewJeans, but they're gonna be shelved and never see the light of day as NewJeans again.
I think they're like the sacrificial lamb
Yeah,
group.
I think so.
So this is gonna help other groups. So this is not
Really?
recurring.
Who they gonna help? I don't know.
Well, this is not gonna be a recurring issue. I mean, HYBE is gonna learn lessons from this, not to have someone have so much control to have influence over a group to feel that they could do this again.
True. That is true.
That happened in the past instead, such as their old dorms being infested with cockroaches, or the fact that they had to travel home alone in the middle of the night with no security. Recently, Hanni's speech at the audit once again sparked a discussion among netizens when Hanni and Minji talked about it during their live stream on October 19th. What didn't sit well with netizens was the way the girl...
what I heard is that it's safe.
In Korea?
To walk at night. Like they say, like girls could walk like at 2 a.m. and feel comfortable.
I've never been.
That's what I heard. You guys can correct us.
Spoke about Hanni's speech. The girls talked about how cute Hanni looked and how she was making weird faces, not really focusing on the real purpose of her appearance at the audit. Many netizens agreed that the girls treated it as a performance and not at all as something important which defeats the purpose. Still, no matter the...
It is interesting that they talk about how cute she looked, not about the message she was saying.
Oh, that's normal. I used to
Think
watch court cases. The criminal, like Anna Delvey, she's the cool.
Oh, but
one.
Anna Delvey's come on.
She would show up and give us passion. That's all people would talk about. That's
outcome of the situation. We're always rooting for the girls and hope they will come out of the situation unscathed and stronger than ever.
Interesting situation, man. HYBE is definitely not blameless here, but I don't really know how.
They're gonna learn from this lesson, though.
I don't really know what NewJeans hope to gain here.
I don't know. I feel sad for them.
I feel sad for them, but at the same time, I kind of see this as the end for them. I don't really think. I don't see a scenario where NewJeans come out and being able to be as they used to be. So
I think
we'll
they'll either have to disband, create a new group.
I don't think that's the worst case scenario for them.
That'd be ideal, honestly.
They honestly would have to give up the NewJeans name. They can come out as old jeans, skinny jeans, fat jeans, I don't know, whatever. Or like jeanless. Yeah. But
or we wearing skirts.
The fans would follow them, so you know. I don't know.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. So we can like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.